Welcome back everyone to my Let's Play of Final Fantasy Legend 2 with a 4-monster party challenge run. Last episode, Bentley, Pippin, Mycroft, and hamster Flapjack ended up here in the ruins of the ancient gods to the south. They were told to head here by Key, the cleric from the temple up north. She said that there may be magi down here. We were told to look for magi to try to find our father, or Bentley's father. That's the main purpose of this quest, but it's going to take on a much deeper meaning, especially once we finish this room here. So, apparently the Magi, 77 of them make a statue, and whoever has that statue will gain, like, a lot of power. And apparently there's someone named Ashura who is trying to gather all the Magi, so Ashura's going to be our main antagonist, our first main antagonist in this game. She was one of the final antagonists in the Final Fantasy Legend 1, but we got a little bit of a downgrade in this game, this sequel. So this is the first major dungeon that we're doing where we don't have a crutch character. The first dungeon we did, the North Cave, we had Mr. S with us, and Mr. S basically steamrolled all the enemies. We don't have him to rely on here in this dungeon. But one good thing that not having a crutch character is it makes running easier. So pretty much because we're monsters, we don't have to fight to gain better abilities. We gain better abilities and stats and stuff by eating different monster meat, and we don't want any of these monsters' meat. So we're just going to run from all the battles that we run into here. So there's no need for us to fight. I'll still be getting all the treasure, even though there's no reason for us to pick up treasure. Monsters can't equip weapons, armor, spellbooks, stuff like that. They can equip magi, and I'll get to that in a little bit when we get our first... we already have one magi, the prison magi. We're going to get a few more magi later on in this dungeon. So monsters still can equip them, and they're going to play an important role, but... Speaking of weapons, anything we pick up, we'll mainly just sell. Sometimes we'll we'll give a weapon or a potion or something to one of our crutch characters that we get, but not right now, because when we don't have a crutch character and we don't really have much to give, even if we did get one. So, we head on in here and we see these two men here. Somebody's here, take the magi and run. Run away from these flies. And we'll check the treasure chest here, and they'll all be empty, so I wonder if these guys were the ones who took the contents of the 4 treasure chests we ran into earlier. I'm going to be over here at this door. I'm going to open the door, and then we're going to run out. We need more magi to open this door, and that's basically the game's way of preventing you from advancing to a place you can't go. They mainly use that in the celestial pillar to keep us from going from one wall to another. So, but right here in this dungeon, we just gotta go into this little room here, get the 3 magi, and then that'll allow us to enter this door. Mainly, like I said, the main point of getting magi is to get to new worlds. So we can go to the magi and then equip section here, and we can equip different magi. There's different types of magi in the game. There's elemental magi as well. You have power, speed, mana. There's going to be defense magi, fire, ice, thunder, poison. Equipping them gives certain benefits. So the power magi will increase the damage that you do when you use a strength-based weapon or ability. So for instance, Bentley has the power magi right now. So Bentley will do more damage with the Fang ability than the other characters, just because the power gives a slight benefit to it. Speed helps increase your damage when you use agility-based weapons. Mana increases damage with any mana-based weapons and abilities. So whoever has the mana magi will do more damage with their flame spell. Defense increases defense from against physical attacks. Fire increases damage with all magical attacks. Ice increases damage with fire attacks. There's a little bit of a coating. It also gives immunity to thunder. Thunder gives immunity to ice and increases damage with all magic. Poison gives immunity to poison and increases damage with fire attacks. So yeah, there's a little bit of coding issues, but magi ain't all that important in terms of you can defeat the game without using equipping magi at all. So this is a small little bonus. But being this is a challenge run, we'll take advantage of every bonus that we can. We're also going to take advantage of our new crutch character, Key. She tells us that Ashura's base is to the north. Remember, we were told those guardians who passed away there in the southern rooms, they said that Ashura's men took the magi to Ashura's base. And we were told that we couldn't get into Ashura's base. Ordinary people couldn't get into there. Last episode we tried to get in here and it said that we couldn't enter. So that's the game basically telling you, like, well, you're gotta get somebody extraordinary to help you get into that base. And we kind of learned that Key was an extraordinary individual. She could heal people. So that's the game kind of subtly telling you need to go back and talk with Key to report what happened in the southern rooms. So now that we have Key, our crutch character, you'll see sometimes we're going to have difficulty running. But luckily for us, Key, though she has lower stats than Mr. S, she has good equipment. She has a Thunder Book, which deals damage to every enemy in a group. And she has the Cure Book, so she can heal up our wounds after battles. Speaking of battles, we see these zombies walking around. If you talk with them or you try to step into a square that they're stepping into and you make contact with them, you'll initiate a battle. You can't run from this battle. So in this case, every time we run into them or talk with them, we get into a battle with a bunch of flies. So if you're grinding for gold or maybe stats, you can just keep fighting them and basically use up most of Key's thunders. But like I said, we don't have to really worry about money much with this party or gaining stats in battle, so I just wanted to show that off. You do gain stats, you're more likely to gain stats though as you fight higher level enemies, so it's not really good to grind on low level enemies like these guys here, because after a while it's just basically going to be like, the game's going to basically prevent you from gaining stats, so you don't need necessarily revive our characters right away. Speaking of which, if you notice that if your character gets defeated in battle, they return back to life outside of battle with 1 hit point. The only way you can get a game over is if every single one of your characters, including your crutch character, are defeated in a battle. Now, up to a certain point in the game, if that happens, you go to Valhalla and you meet with the god Odin, and he basically says like, hey, if you agree to fight me someday, I will resurrect you, and you can restart the battle again. If you say you don't want to restart the battle, then it's just a game over. So we'll meet Odin much later. So if you don't ever end up getting defeated and meeting Odin, you still end up having to fight him. I showed that off in my regular playthrough, but he just comes out of nowhere. You're like, who is this guy? Why am I fighting him? You get basically no backstory, so I'll probably just get defeated on purpose at one point, just so I can show off that backstory. Or I always like to do it, I might do it how I did in my regular playthrough, my normal playthrough of this. I got all the way up to Odin, had him defeat me, and then I appeared and I'm like, where am I? And it's like, oh, it's that guy who just defeated me. And I got introduced to him that way, so it was weird. Just gotta watch yourself as you're walking around these zombies. There's a speed potion, you can take that, increases your character's agility by 3 points, which is really good at the beginning here when agility is really low. Agility is your main stat in this game. For characters who need to raise stats, like humans and mutants through battle, agility determines your accuracy with the weapon, and for agility-based weapons, it determines the damage you do. Strength determines how much damage you do with strength-based weapons. Strength-based weapons usually have a higher multiplier than agility-based weapons, so strength weapons do more damage than agility-based weapons. But if you never raise your agility, you'll never hit with the strength weapon. And the multiplier isn't all that much different. I think the highest agility multiplier is times 11, and the highest strength is times 13 or 14, so it's really not that much difference. So if you have to choose one stat to raise, agility is the one stat to move them all. It's like the one ring in this game. So just let these zombies walk around, don't want to run into them. We'll just keep heading around. All these weapons, like I said, we're gonna just sell. So most of the weapons we got have been strength-based, like this Ashura we're gonna get down here. That's a strength-based weapon. You use it in battle, you have a chance to have your strength go up. Most weapons are like that, where if they're strength-based, they will raise strength. But an interesting weapon that we got at the beginning of this episode, one of the first weapons we found was the whip. And that's a unique item in that when you use it in battle, it has a chance to grow your agility. However, the damage that the whip does is based on your character's strength. So yeah, it's a unique weapon in that its damage calculation is based not on the stat that it helps grow in battle. So we're getting near the end of the base here. We can alter around our character's abilities. So you can see I moved Q up to the top of Key's ability list. Thing is with crutch characters, you can't take away any of their equipment. So you can't like take away their good stuff and give it to like one of your characters. And if you put anything on that character, it becomes that character's like permanent. So you can't give them a good piece of armor and then try to take it off later. It doesn't work that way. But like I said, you can rearrange abilities. So we'll put Cure on top because that's most likely to be accessed. And here we have the boss of Ashura's base. It's a Rhino. It's actually a level 3 monster, so the meat would be really good to get. But we're not really worried about this meat. We don't want this meat. So you see this enemy is pretty tough. I think we'll survive even an attack by Key's thunder. It's too late. Most of the magi are raised in Lord Ashura's hands. Bonsai! And he set the base to blow up. He tells us to get out of the door, but if we try to go out of the door, he tells us, Bentley, you gotta get the treasure first. And it's important that we get the treasure because it contains more magi. We used the prism at the beginning of the game, so there were 6 magi in this world, where we got 3 magi in the southern rooms, we got 3 magi in Ashura's base. So now we have all the magi in this world, which means that we can now go to the next world. We did it, but Ashura will be back stronger with magi again to sail. We have to get to him before it's too late. So before you leave, we didn't take any battle damage there, but after the base, we're basically healed up, all our stats are restored, all our abilities are restored. But if you do get into a fight, you can just use, before you step on this teleporter, you want to have Key heal yourself. Heal all your characters. Because as you saw right there, she leaves. If you go back and visit her, she just says like, hi, how you doing, I'll heal you, and that's it. So no reason to go back to her yet. We will see her again later. But now we enter the celestial world, and there's these little vines and pillars that take us down to other worlds. So we can get this one. We can't go through that door yet because we still need to get more magi. But we can head south here and get into world number 2. This is called Ashura's world. And we're going to start Ashura's world here by just doing some grinding. This is where we're going to get some meat grinding right now. The meat we want to get is the were-rat meat. Right now we want to get were-rat meat and transform Bentley and Pippin. We want to have them eat the meat. That'll transform them from dragons into sprites. And you'll see how much more powerful sprites are. Let's see if we get lucky, we get the meat. Nope, we didn't get the meat there. This is where we use our cures from that we got in the first world. Heal ourselves up. Just wander around until I get into a battle where I get the meat, so. Now you notice that I think Mycroft is going to do a lot more damage with his flame. And that's because he has the mana magi equipped. And that'll increase his damage with magic-based attacks. So watch this. More than double the damage. So yeah, magi, it can help a lot beating. So we get the were-rat's meat, and we want Bentley and Pippin, but Bentley is knocked out. So Pippin's gonna eat the meat and change into a sprite. Look at how much more powerful Pippin is. So gonna use that Q to heal himself up. Now that O in front of the thing, that means that's strength. So because Pippin has wings and can fly now, Quake, which is the Earthquake spell, doesn't hurt. She is immune to it. So, well, he's immune to it. So now I wanted to get another were-rat meat for Bentley, transform Bentley into a sprite. And now I want to get more were-rat meat. And then Pippin's going to eat that meat and transform into an eye monster. Now the big eye monster is weaker than the sprite, but it has a good ability, and the ability is called Warning. That means that any monster, you can't get into a preemptive attack against monsters. Some monsters have a thing called Surprise. If a monster has Surprise, it means that they can attack you before you get to go. But since we now have a monster that has Warning, we will never be surprised in battle. So we're always going to want to try to keep a monster with that Surprise ability on us. So that concludes this episode. See you in the next one. Bye.